How's it going? It's me. I'm back. I survived, and just barely. Oh, jeez. I hope you had a good last 5 days. Me, not so much. You might have heard me complaining about a little bit of a chest irritation on Friday, and I narrowed it down to two things. Either being irritated by all of the fog at the Trans-Siberian Orchestra show, or two, picked up a bug. Guess which one of the two it was, since I have not been to work since Friday. Doing my fake podcast here. I'm gonna play nice. I heard, actually, it's kind of funny. Nobody told me aside from the person who actually does the podcast, but that there were some jabs taken at me. Finally got around to listening to him last night, and I was like, all right, I could either totally smash Mike Nelson on my show when I get back, or I could just, ask him to apologize, because there was something that happened many years ago that he's never apologized for. So I asked for a public apology and got it. So I'm going to play nice. But I will say this about some of the comments made. This is a real podcast if you're listening to it on demand. What is a podcast? That is audio of people talking that is placed online. When I was interviewing the hosts of one of the biggest podcasts on the planet, Last Podcast on the Left, I believe that they said something to the effect of, any podcasters who criticize radio are idiots because it's the same thing, It's audio of people talking that is posted online. So I will say this is as real of a podcast as anything else. And the first time I did a podcast was in 2013. So a little ahead of you buddy. But I'm going to play nice. Even though I had a lot to say. Apology, I suppose, accepted. I would have preferred if it was posted on personal page. I did say make a post, but I guess a comment will do. Guess it'll do. All right, everybody. So I'm here. I'm not 100%, but when I finally went to urgent care on Sunday, because I was in such excruciating pain, I didn't know how I was even going to be able to handle it. Doc said, when your fever goes down to normal, you're no longer contagious. So I gave it it's been down since, what day is it? Wednesday? I don't know. I think Monday evening it was down pretty good. And yesterday I was like, I'll just give it one more day. Plus I was still miserable yesterday, even minus fever and stabbing chest pains. So not wonderful today, but good enough to walk into the office here and do my fake show. All right, so that's where I'm at. Recovering. I'd say I'm at 80%, which ain't too shabby. I guess Peach has been out too. I didn't even know that till yesterday. So I hope he didn't get the crud from me. I should probably hit up Crane too, since he was in the studio with me on Friday. He's probably up right now. I'll shoot him a text. That guy's pretty much immune to anything though. Yeah, he's a superhuman. He's the Mountain. All right, I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off. It's getting toasty in here. I will tell you one thing. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But man, I am personally, in my opinion, regretting that I sat there and farted around getting that flu jab. Yeah, to each their own, do what you want to do, but I am really mad at myself after the last 5 days. That was horrible. So, like I mentioned, been out of the office. Well, been pretty much out of existence for 5 days. Oh, it was the worst. Just the worst. Oh. And one of the bad things about getting the flu is those crazy dreams. Like, I can't even get into some of them here. I had some wild dreams that were very dark and unpleasant. And, I slept so much. Pretty much, I'd say, I was sleeping half the time, at least, the last 5 days. I started losing track of what day it was. I remember waking up Monday at some point and being like, how many days of work did I miss? Is it Thanksgiving? Where am I? What does life mean? What is reality? It was crazy. Oh. Well, I'm glad my lady was able to take care of me and get me some food. I didn't really eat much, but I ate some. Hopefully the normal appetite will return at some point. I brought some food to work, but, you know me, usually everything's sounding good. Not lately. Ugh. And I'm wondering, what kind of stuff happened in the last 5 days? Because I was so miserable, I couldn't even look at social media. Like, if you've messaged me in the last 5 days, sorry. I've got a lot of messages to catch up on. I was looking through my email at one point yesterday, and I'm like, did I miss something important? What's happening? But I had a point I was going to make. Brain's still a little bit off. But one thing that I did see pop up in the news, which I shared with my kids because they're coming to visit soon. Well, guess I'm going to have a few days to hopefully this weekend power down and clean the house. Since I didn't get to last weekend, those plans went out the door. One thing I saw is that the airlines, or somebody associated with the airlines, was asking, or requesting, I should say, that the public does not show up to airlines, don't show up to their flights in pajamas. Air travel sucks bad enough as it is. Why can't you wear whatever clothes you want? There's a dress code now for flying. We going back to the 1950s, where you had to wear a suit and tie to get on an airplane. Sorry, it's cramped in there. It sucks, all right? If you make it a little bit better by wearing pajamas, what's it hurting? And then you have less pockets you have to empty. If you have to take your shoes off, which I don't know if you have to do that anymore. Slippers are easier to deal with than shoes. What are they talking about? What is their justification for this? Hold on. I got to pull up the article because I'm annoyed now. Airlines, pajamas. I didn't read the article. I just read the headline and was like, that's stupid. Transportation chief offers advice to increasingly angry Americans. Maybe we go back to an era where we didn't wear our pajamas to the airport. Okay, he's talking about, people misbehaving online or on airlines. I don't think that it's people in pajamas usually, is it? Is there an association between what people wear and, their behavior? He's just asking people to be nice. Yeah, he's saying, let's go back to the golden age. Let's go back to the 1950s. Maybe we should dress up a little bit. Get out of here. What are you talking about? All right, I got to settle down. Get myself worked up here. I'm going to start feeling like crap. Couldn't even do a couple loads of laundry in the last couple days without starting to sweat. Like, I'm going to die. I fed the pets. Ugh. Yeah, I would like to encourage you to wear your pajamas on the airline. That's what Victor Wilt says. Wear your pajamas. Okay. I'll be back in a minute, okay? We're going to get through this morning, somehow. Where did the last week go? Last thing I remember was being at the Trans-Siberian Orchestra show. Then a trip through the abyss. It sucked. I hope everybody's feeling good. The crud is going round. Oh, my poor lady. Woke up with it in her chest this morning. I'm like, oh, I was really hoping she skirted it and got by and didn't catch it because it had been this many days. Ugh. Anyhow, I'm going to try not to whine too much today, but I did not enjoy myself the last few days. Very, very unpleasant. The only good thing that could come out of it is today being an easy content day. I should have 5 days of content to dig through. Looking around online, I'm like, well, aside from the stupid don't wear your pajamas to the airport, did anything else happen in the last few days? Notable? I still see people fighting about the mayoral race. Today, final day of, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Early voting? God, my brain. Yeah, final day of early voting, I believe. So if you want to avoid the big lines at the polls on Tuesday, get out and vote today. I think I'm going to wait till Tuesday. Even though I'm so much better than I was, I still don't want to be around people. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I ended up having to make a trip to just the store. And one simple little get out of the house was like, oh, yeah, I ain't going to be around any people. Stay away. I don't think people realize how brutal it can get. I'll find something to talk about. It's out there. I'm just scrolling. All right. Cut me some slack, okay? Today's brain, it's a bit foggy. And as you know, I do this live. I don't pre-record my show and spend hours editing it and then release it to you. Yeah, you get what you get with this program, all right? Some people can do it, some can't. Doesn't mean it's always great, especially when, you got a little bit of the fog going on still. But there's got to be something to talk about aside from people fighting about the mayoral race. Just make sure to get out and vote. And then Tuesday, we can finally be over with it. Well, no, I'm sure we'll have a few days of people continuing to fight about the results. And then eventually people will move on to fighting about something else. So get out and vote. It's the proper thing to do. If you're feeling up to it, you can do it today at your local elections office. Otherwise, Tuesday, just go to your polling place, get the job done. Puscifer Band's going to be hitting up Salt Lake City at the Maverick Center. Was it May? I don't know. I was looking at other crap. I didn't look up the date. It's at the event calendar on our website. You can go check it out for yourself. riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. Anyhow, kind of a light news content day, but at least people are, I guess, talking about useless crap online. People asking about dating stuff. That's always a fun topic on this show, isn't it? Now, what is your unconventional I need this in a partner that you will not negotiate on? I was looking through this, and there were some interesting responses. I tried to think about this for myself, but I don't think I have any unconventional needs. You just want somebody who's honest with you. Take care of you when you're sick. Things like that. Someone who's just helpful. I don't know. Not a weirdo like some of these people online, that's for sure. I'll skip that one because it kind of makes sense. But some of these, even if they're a bit weird, I understand them. Okay, the first one that I skipped. We'll talk about it. The person says, as a widow, I feel like I'd need a widower. Seems like we'd be a bit more understanding of each other. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to have your partner die. It's got to be awful. So I could see that type of understanding being helpful if you've gone through that type of event. Sad. Yeah, let's keep it nice and sad this morning. All right, sorry. All right, this person says they ask right away if they believe in dinosaurs. I think that's a fair dating question. I won't get into the details, but to me, fair question to ask. Because from my personal perspective, if somebody said no, I'd be like, okay, all right. I don't know if we're going to be compatible here. All right, let's see. All right, this person says fear of birds. Yeah. Oh, so they're saying if somebody's afraid of birds, they're out. They're not going to put up with their guy doing that. They're like, hey, you're asking for unconventional. Says, what a turnoff it is to feel your man flinch when making out because a bird in a cage chirped. Well, sorry, lady. I ain't the guy for you. Sorry, birds, I've had them dive bomb me plenty of times. They got those, they're dinosaurs. Dinosaurs that evolved. They give me the creeps. I don't like anything except basically kittens. That's about it. I'm learning to deal with a lizard, but do you think I've tried to pick that thing up? Heck no. Looks ready to bite me, even though it's a baby. Let's see, this guy says, left my last girlfriend because she didn't completely open anything. I hate having the tinfoil cover under the lid to the sour cream. It's now a requirement, and the first thing I ask anybody I date. That's unconventional. I don't think I would mind that too much. This person insists on dating people who know how to juggle. Yeah. How hard is it to find that? I don't know anybody who can juggle, at least that I'm aware of. Maybe it's a skill people don't just show off. Ability to make decent potato salad. Now that's a plus, but a requirement? I don't know. I'm lucky. I got a lady now who cooks really good. It's amazing. It's amazing. I've always been the one who generally cooks, but yeah, she's excellent. All right. Whew, I keep getting going, then I'm running out of steam. And it's the first day I've drank any coffee in like 5 days. I'm gonna take a break, people, because I'm getting beat. You know that you're out of whack when just talking wears you down. It actually is it not? School's out, I think, for most kids. You remember getting a full week off for the Thanksgiving holiday? Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? I remember. Not no more, though. Nope. I guess I did get 2 unintentional days off this week, but they weren't fun, okay? Yeah. You get a few days off work. It's better if you're not feeling like just complete trash. Like the worst you felt in over a year. One of the worst sicknesses you've ever had. That's no way to spend days off during the Thanksgiving week. So I hope you're not dealing with that. Okay. What was I going to talk about here? Oh, being sick. Yeah, I mentioned that happened to me for the last 5 days. I'm no longer contagious. I'm good to go. But still, certainly not 100%. Feeling just gross, pretty much. Probably because I didn't really eat for 5 days. But I did manage to finish that movie, Eddington. Yeah, it took me a few different chunks, but I was able to, over the course of a couple days, finally finish that movie. And it wasn't because the movie was bad. I just figured, all right, if all I'm doing is sleeping during times when I'm awake, I might as well try to watch some of this movie. And I generally enjoy watching kind of uncomfortable and unpleasant things when I'm sick, so I can be like, yeah, it could be worse. This time, I was feeling so sketchy, I couldn't even watch that kind of stuff. Watched a few comedies, but I did watch Eddington, and it goes off the rails. But that was about the only sort of uncomfortable movie I could make my way through during the last few days. Oh, watched the new Conjuring movie. It was all right. It was all right. Eddington was good. It was really good. I would not put it, anywhere near Hereditary or Midsommar, but it was worth a watch. I'd probably watch it again, too, because it took some unexpected twists and turns, and I think there's little, like with all of Ari Aster's movies, little things you'll notice once you've watched the entire movie. But it was good. It was good. Not one of my favorite movies of all time, but I liked it. Seems like I watched some other movies too, but I don't know. A little bit foggy there over the last few days. I don't know how 5 days went by. That sucks. But yeah, if you're looking for something that might catch you by surprise, Eddington, it could be enjoyable. It was kind of a bad movie to watch when you're sick, though, because it takes place in 2020 during like the peak pandemic. And, the pandemic's a big part of what the movie's about. So I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, oh no. Do I have COVID again? No, it wasn't that. Just the flu. Which the last time I had COVID, I didn't think it got any worse than that. I don't know. The flu I just got, it could have been worse. It was not cute. Not cute. Oh, it's good to be somewhat back to reality. Holy crap. If you're feeling like sketchy this morning, do not read a thread on Reddit called ER Workers, what is the weirdest or craziest case you have had walk into your emergency room? Yeah, I'm not going to read you these things because you might be feeling a little bit sketchy this morning. I've been feeling whack for about 5 days, and I guess I was mentally still not ready to read through that kind of thread. The ER is a place where some unpleasant things can happen. I was like, okay, this will be fun and wacky. Right at the beginning, they're talking about a guy who got struck by lightning. Immediately gets unpleasant because, somebody got struck by lightning. All right, that is an unusual case, I'm sure, when you're working in the ER, when somebody gets struck by lightning. But then the details, I could do without. So now, after I horrified myself reading through that, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? My brain is now cooked. Like that person struck by light. They ended up, they were fine, okay? They were fine. All right? Now, Stuart sent me a link to something I've been seeing pop up on social media a bunch today, which is weird because it's like 5 years old. Story about a woman who sent a guy more than 65,000 text messages after one date. And then I guess she broke into his house and took a bath. Yeah, I would say, after the 10,000th text message or so, you might want to contact the police. Especially when some of the messages were threatening. They're saying it could have been up to 159,000 text messages, about 530 a day. At what point would you contact the authorities? Or can you just block the number? That's got to be bad. They find out where you live. Never tell anybody where you live on the first date. What if they're a psycho like this? I mean, luckily all she did was break in and take a bath, but still. I get annoyed when I get a few phone calls. You send me 500 text messages in a day? Yeah, you definitely got some block user happening like day one. Day one. Ugh. I guess I'm feeling lucky. Haven't had to put up with any of that kind of crap. Hope you haven't either. Hope you haven't either. Anyway, I'm going to dig up some freak news. There's got to be a decent amount where I got 5 days of material to dig through. We'll see. Wish me luck. Well, they're arresting people now for Ding Dong Ditch. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better to just start arresting kids, because if they keep it up, they're just going to get hurt. It ain't the good old 90s or 2000s anymore. People are like shooting at kids and stuff. No, I guess that one of the new Ding Dong Ditch challenges is like going up and just kicking a door repeatedly as hard as you can. That's different than ringing the doorbell and running away. Okay, that sounds like someone's trying to kick your door in. That's how you end up seriously injured, kids. You don't want to do that, okay? So, I don't know where this was at, that it said they were arresting people. Oh, Florida, of all places, trying to keep the kids safe. But yeah, big difference between ding dong and then the sound of someone trying to kick in your door. I think that I might go to the door aggressively as well. If in the middle of the night it sounded like someone was literally trying to break into your house. I don't know, kids are dumb. They do some dumb things, so maybe if they start hearing other kids are getting arrested for it, it'll prevent some deaths. These are just the times we're in. Let's see here. Why isn't my computer cooperating with me? We got Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow. I may or may not have mentioned in the past, I'm sure I did, that Friday after Thanksgiving is known as Brown Friday, because it's the biggest day for plumbers year round. And Salt Lake City has been crowned the clogged capital of the U.S. And you got to forgive me for not being able to speak today, okay? I'm coming off the flu, all right? It's been rough. And also, I do my show live. I don't pre-record it and spend hours editing it so it sounds, perfection. You get what you get, flubs and all. Because I don't give a crap. Perfection sounds fake. All right. Anyways, so make sure to, all right, I'm not going to give advice on how to deal with the toilet. Your parents should have taught you when you're young. You don't want to be the person that clogs the toilet Friday after Thanksgiving. So it's a major problem, okay? Multiple flushes is okay. That's as far as I'm going to go on that one. But congrats to Salt Lake City, #1 in the U.S. for clogging toilets after Thanksgiving. That's great. Now, let's see here. What else did I have? Oh, don't use a barbecue to heat your home. Yeah, that's bad. Okay. It's called carbon monoxide poisoning, and you can die. Don't do that. I know that heat bills can get to being expensive, but just use the proper heat, okay? Gas-powered equipment inside your home, a gas grill, not good. A couple in Fresno currently recovering after trying to stay warm overnight with a barbecue grill inside of their living room. Don't do that, okay? Should be common sense, but you never know. Never know. Maybe somebody out there right now is like, man, it's chilly. What should I do this morning? Not that. All right? Not that. All right. I got plenty more tabs open. The computer seems to be cooperating. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the show. Hope your morning's going good. I'm gonna keep digging to find garbage to talk about, okay? But again, cut me a little bit of slack. I do it live, and I'm post-flu today. So it's not going to be perfection, people. No edits. It's, I guess, Wednesday. I've been living on another planet for the last 5 days. I hope you're doing good, feeling well. But, it could always be worse. I mean, I've been pretty sick before. That was about as sick as I've ever been. But at least, my roommate didn't shoot me while we were fighting over a rifle because we wanted our turn to shoot at rats from the second-story window. This was over in West Virginia. A couple guys just hanging out, shooting rats. And then they started fighting over the gun. Next thing you know, one of them gets injured. Cops show up and they're like, oh, we were just trying to clean this rifle. Accident happened, but they eventually fessed up and admitted that, they were shooting rats. Yeah, not a good activity. But the guy's going to be okay, even though he did take a gunshot to the head. Just hanging out up in your upstairs bedroom shooting rats. It's just not a safe activity, Peaches.
No kidding.
Yeah. So, welcome, Peaches.
Thank you.
Have you been here at all this week?
No. Well, I was here for the first part of Monday, and then, I left.
Yeah. I made it to about 1 p.m. on Friday and was like, okay, this is not good. Mm-hmm. And then, I won't get into the unpleasantries of it. But did you have any nightmares?
No, I had a weird dream last night that my mom said I had a club foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's like, it's common with people your age, and it's just some weird...
Okay.
She's like, you're walking weird. And I'm like, what?
I won't even discuss...
And I was like, look who's talking. And I just there was this whole fight between me and my mom.
Yeah, I won't even discuss the horrific dreams I was having. 3 nights of just sweating all night, just waking up just soaked. And I was having the craziest, horrific nightmares.
I think I was having the, when you lay in bed for too long, are they called like bed sores?
That's what you get, but I think you have to lay in bed a really long time to get those.
Yeah, no, I wasn't laying in bed that long, but my head was starting to really hurt from just, I don't know, I think the heat was on, and then I had to vary between the heat and the cold, and it was just...
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you probably had the same thing going on that I did. It sucked.
I'm glad I didn't have the chest pain, though, because that would have really freaked me out.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have freaked you. It freaked me out bad enough that I went to the doctor. Well, and it was so painful, I was just sitting there shaking. It was so painful, and I needed to cough, and every time I coughed, I would just pretty much scream in pain. It hurts.
My cough is bad. That's the only thing. My cough is bad, and it makes like this part of my spine hurt.
Yeah, it was straight brutal. But better now. The fever's gone. I was cooking, man.
It's hot in here today.
Is it hot in here?
It's hot in the Cannonball studio and also in this room.
Well, we can turn the AC on to do the noon hour. We'll just, in case we had different sicknesses, we'll do the social distancing.
I was going to wear the whole mask today just to be nice. But
when I went into the doctor, I was wearing one because I knew I had something bad going on.
I stupidly thought, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll get my beard trimmed today, just the day before Thanksgiving, make it all stylish. But I'm like, you know what? The barber doesn't want to get sick. I'm like, I'll wear a mask. I'm like, wait a minute. You can't trim the beard with a stupid mask on.
I mean, you said you don't have a fever, right?
No.
You're sure?
Okay. I'm okay temperature-wise and everything.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just...
Because if you're packing something different than me and I pick up something new, I'm going to kill you, bitches.
No. It's mine was literally like what you said, the shaking, the cough.
Okay.
It just felt like... I think Josh and Jeff saw me walking down the hallway with all my stuff on Monday, and I'm like just shaking up a storm.
Okay. Yeah, that's when it's time to go home.
Yeah.
So, everybody stay safe out there. Eat your vitamins. Talk to your doc.
I do have a bag of oranges if you want one.
No, I have no appetite. I've had no appetite for 5 days.
For some reason, I just keep eating those because I'm like, vitamin C, that's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I've been taking vitamins too. Been forcing them down. I just have no appetite. You know how much I love cheeseburgers.
Yeah, even that to me sounds awful.
Yeah.
My Thanksgiving's going to suck.
I'm guessing I'm not doing Thanksgiving. I don't think that's going to be happening. It's not in the cards. So, oh well.
Which, I mean, I don't really care for Thanksgiving food overall, but it's just I'll be at a place where all the smells are in the air and stuff, and everyone's going to be chewing on turkey, and then I'm going to be just disgusted.
Yeah. I just have a pretty good feeling it's not in the air. It's not happening. So, anyway, I'm going to take another little break here. Peaches and I working on getting some things done around here. Sorry that the show sucks today. It is what it is. All right, if you're going to bid in an auction, you should make sure to read the description. Sometimes things that seem too good to be true, or most of the time, they turn out to be too good to be true. especially if you're bidding on real estate in San Francisco. It's very expensive there. So this couple thought they were getting the steal of a lifetime on a 2-unit building right next to their home, multi-million-dollar home. Bid $25,000, and then they won the auction, and they're all excited, like, woo! They just bought basically a dirt alley. Now, you might be able to do something with this, right? Build a tiny home. I don't know. They don't have pictures of the stupid dirt, alley here, but with how much land, period, costs in San Francisco, seems like there's got to be something you could do with it. I don't know. Still, can you imagine just dumping $25,000 on a dirt alley? I'd be frustrated. I mean, I ain't got the dough to do that. That's for sure. I don't have the dough to dump $25,000 on an actual 2-unit building like they thought they were getting. Would have been great though, right? Oh man. Turn around, sell it cheap, just make some bank. That would be luck, but yeah. Gotta read the fine print. It wasn't even fine print. I guess in the auction, it was very accurately described. They just saw the address and were like, that's the house next door. Never rush into spending your money. Always, take a breather, kick back, really think about things, analyze the listing again. Because, sometimes these screw-ups might cost you even worse than 25 G's. Yeah, today, I knew I would be okay to go to work. And you know that you're recovering from something pretty brutal when talking is like just draining. Did a few breaks earlier where I talked for a long time, and I was like, oh, I'm so tired at the end of it. Yeah, wash your hands, stay safe, people. There is some nasty crud going around right now. Just scrolling Facebook, I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one. Okay, well, I'm not going to say that's good because I don't want anybody to not be feeling well, but it's nice to know you're not alone sometimes. Oh, in the depths of the darkness over the weekend, had some times I felt alone, lost, help. It was bad. And I just couldn't pick anything to watch. Everything sounded terrible. I did watch a little bit of Welcome to Derry, the It prequel. That was pretty cool. I think I got an episode and a quarter down. Pretty brutal for sure. I was impressed. Gonna have to watch some more of that. But, I was getting sketched out by too much stuff. I ended up watching Borat, Part 1 and 2. Yeah, classics. I don't know. Borat movie, it's just one of those feel-good movies for me. Like The Hangover. I can watch that anytime, and I'm just happy to watch it. Started watching Casino, and that sketched me out. It's like, oh, this movie's got some darkness in it. Give me Borat. Borat it is. Yeah, if you've never seen Borat 1 or 2, very good movies. Very funny. Very nice. So, yeah, I'm just, beating myself up for not being productive. I did do a few things, like yesterday. Yeah. It's rough when you clean the cat boxes and take the garbage out, and you're like, oh, I want to die. I'm feeling a little beat now. Walked up and down the stairs. Oh. I know, I'm out of shape, but it wasn't that, okay? I can do that normally, no problem. Well, hopefully, this weekend I'll make up for it. Too much crap to do. All right, I'm going to try to find myself a list of things to watch. I think I need one more day to just sit. At least I get to sleep in tomorrow. Yeah. Thanksgiving. Don't have to come here. But I will be in on Black Friday. Doubt we're going to be doing any traffic school powered by the advocates. Probably be doing Ask Me Almost Anything. And I will probably be one of the only people in the building because, I can't take Friday off. Nothing more aggravating than having to use your vacation time because of brutal sickness. Ugh. Thought I had something open to talk about it. Peaches and I have been multitasking here, getting the noon show done. So there is a noon show recorded and ready to go. You'll hear us fumble and stumble on when Stranger Things Season 5 starts, which was today. I guess, you can watch the first 4 episodes. That sounds pretty good to me. Sit down, watch new Stranger Things. I think I'm down for that. Probably need to watch one of those quick YouTube recaps because I don't remember what happened in the first few seasons, and I only vaguely remember parts of, season 4. So thankfully they have those YouTube recaps that'll catch you up on everything. I remember I had to do that with Better Call Saul when that show was about to wrap up. So the first 4 episodes today. I think we said Christmas Eve. So when the next 3 drop, and then the season finale, the show finale, I should say, on New Year's Eve. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I guess it's Christmas. Sorry, not Christmas Eve. And then you only have to wait a week and you can check out the series finale. Hopefully they do a good job wrapping it up. Nothing worse than when a show wraps up badly. Ugh. That just sucks. Luckily, some of my favorite shows, they wrap them up great. Breaking Bad crushed the ending. Better Call Saul crushed the ending. The Sopranos, they crushed the ending. But you remember Game of Thrones? Oh, come on. They just rushed it. It should have been spread out by at least another season. They packed way too much into that final season to where they couldn't let the story just play out at a proper pace. I don't know. I thought the plot elements were fine. The execution, just terrible. So hopefully Stranger Things, they do a good job. The world of multitasking mayhem prevented me from talking when I should have a few minutes ago. It's a rough day up in here. Surviving, though. Surviving. Hope you are as well. And Peaches and I do have a noon hour of madness and mayhem show be coming your way. It's not going to be the greatest, people. Because me and Peaches both feel lousy. Okay, I shouldn't even talk that loud. Put that kind of energy into talking, start sweating again. Jeez. But don't worry, I'm not contagious, all right? I waited till I was far beyond when the doctors said, you'll be good to go to be around people and go to work to come back to work. I'm fine, all right? I mean, you can still stay away from me. That's fine. I'm not going to mind people avoiding me because I've had enough people recently. Anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Be safe. Give yourself some extra travel time. Be patient. Don't fight with your family and friends. Try to make it a good holiday for all. And then I'll be back on Friday. Black Friday edition of the program. Hopefully feeling a million times better than today. And today I'm already feeling a million times better than the last few. So that's good. But yeah, if you start feeling sick, I recommend you get in and get that checked out, okay? The docs, depending on what you got going on, might have some meds that can really help you out. I wish I would have gone about 2 days earlier. Because, first day, taking the doctor recommended medication for what I had going on. By the next day, it was a game changer. So, yeah, if you start feeling gross, just get in and get checked out. Don't sit around trying to be tough. Just do it. All right? Please take my word for it. It's worth it. All right. again, happy holidays all. I'll see you on Black Friday. And I don't know what I'm going to go do now. I guess I'll figure it out. Anyway, you're all the best. Thank you again for tuning in to The Victor Welch Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.